Wholeness, thank you for tuning in today. I'm just going to get straight to the point. I wanted to do a video on this. It's kind of off the topic of what I'm usually talking about, but I've been following the P Diddy trial case, and I actually was not a fan of his since the 90s. Never was a fan of his. I like all of his artists and their talents, but I see I had already seen him for the person he was. He was never talented to me. And so I was in Vegas and at the MGM the night that Tupac was shot. So I'm kind of close to this. I feel close to it because I've been following this for many years. And so I wanted to talk about the documentary that 50 Cent produced. I think it was very good. It touched so much stuff that has been left out, and I feel like it's piecing the Tupac case together. So if you haven't watched it, this is a spoiler alert. I'm not going to talk about it. I watched all 4 episodes, but I just wanted to, talk about the storyline and how it was set up. I think it was really good. They put in so much information. Like, I wasn't expecting so much to be said about the Tupac murder. They kind of left it open about Biggie, but left enough for you to see the setup and just the way they even introduced probably his very first accuser that came out, because I believe he's been doing this for most of his life. But his first sexual assault victim was on there, or one of the first. We really don't know who's the first, but I was so glad that someone from so far back in his beginnings came forward, and just the way he's been doing women and men this whole time, he's just not a good person. I've been wanting to make a video even during the trial because I was following it. I also have a problem with him working with Nipsey on his last album. It just don't sit right with me, and it never will. I was hoping that 50 would have just put like that clip in the studio with Nipsey and Diddy when Lauren and Cassie were there. It just wasn't right. And so most of his stuff is documented. I'm sure there's so many more because we've heard about the case, and there's so many more videos that he's been documenting all of his life. And he was documenting the last few days before he turned himself in. And he gives himself away. Like, whoever was filming, I'm so glad that they were able to sell it to Netflix or 50 or whoever, the woman who helped direct it. I heard that Diddy never paid this person, which it seems like such a pattern of his. And a lot of the times during the trial, people would talk about his money, and I'm sitting here watching this documentary like, why were people so obsessed with this man? What was so good about him? And even like just looking at him as a person, it's low vibrational. He's just a low vibrational being. And I don't see how he had such a following. And it just gives you the idea of humans and the behaviors and how people glamorize celebrities and the culture, and how these people are rarely ever really good. And so I was glad to be able to spend my day watching the series, and I wanted to just put my video up because I had ideas during the trial, and I kept wanting to bring up the Nipsey, Lauren London, Diddy connection. It's just not right to me. And knowing what a devious human, I don't even know if I could call him a human, and the certain people that stuck by him and stuck to him, it was so good seeing a lot of the people who work with him coming forward. people like him. The only thing about this, which I hope there's like a part 2 or whatever, and they touch more on Kim Porter. They brought her up a lot of times. They made her more of, maybe more of, they didn't give her a victimize her at all in the documentary, which is good, but I believe she was a victim for a very long time. And anybody that just was around him that helped him, I believe they probably have remorse right now because they know things about him that just they should have let known, and it could have probably saved a lot of other people. But I'm glad everything is coming full circle, being that I'm in the 90s and knowing that he had something to do with the murder of Tupac Shakur. It's just so good to see it finally hitting him. And I hope that while he's in jail and prison, that he gets charged with that and whatever else comes back. I hope he keeps getting charged with all of this stuff. I hope every dirt that he's done, all the dirt, comes back on him, because people don't need to be out here living like that and not being able to reap what they've sown. And another thing, which I think I got sidetracked about, what I was going to mention about him getting away with stuff, and I was glad that the people that came up finally said something. People were holding things for years, too long, and knowing a person like this is just getting away with so much horrible things. There's stuff that we still don't even know, and I'm sure it will come out sooner than later. And so I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on that documentary. Shout out to 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. He did a really good job of documenting and getting all of the receipts. And so one thing, there are so many people who don't want to see it. People that think they're just trying to bring a black man down and all that. All skin folk is not kinfolk. He's just not a good person, regardless what shade of brown he is. He's just not a good person, and I don't know if I'm sure he's not a soul. He's more of like a NPC slash agent, and he's definitely an agent, and he thrives off of other people's success. And from the very beginning, he's a death. He thrives and he capitalizes off of death. And he found this out early in his career, and that's just how he flourished. This is what I was going to say, the money part. I feel like he made that first 10 million and it only got him so far, and the rest he was scamming. He's the biggest scammer, just like most record labels are. I'm glad they went into more detail about Suge Knight and their relationship and how they even came about of knowing each other. And Sean Combs just does dirty work from the very beginning. And I hope you guys get to watch it. And if not, look at other YouTubers who want to give more in detail reviews on it. I just don't want to give so much away. Maybe the more and later on down the line, as more people start talking about things, I'll make another video, because it's just something that I'm close to. One of my cousins told me the other day that I had told her about P Diddy years before all of this stuff came out with Cassie and all that, because people who know and people who were actually like there, like in the 90s, already knew. And I was West Coast like the whole time, so you see it from a different side. And the streets were talking even before the internet and everything. We already knew he was a clown and a soulless vessel. And that's all I want to say. Wholeness.